Hey guys, welcome to Jacob Gray. This is Todd Neese, president of the company. Today I'm going to go through our shop and we're excited to show you some of this stuff. And what I want to do is just have you spend a couple of minutes following me around our process from cradle to grave and show you how that at Jacob Gray we make everything here in-house on our machines with all the millions of dollars we've invested in our products back there. We had to do this video on a Saturday with not as much machinery moving around because the noise with the microphones, but I'm going to let you in on some secrets and show you some of our processes, where things go. Behind those doors is where most of our competition or most of the guys out there, they won't let you pass that. Jacob Gray, we're going to be transparent. We're going to show you how this works. And the second thing is most guys that we can see, they start at the other end of the building where the UPS truck drops off their parts. And we're going to start in the front where the billet is, and then we're going to machine it all the way from start to finish. So come with me and let's check it out. So you can see this is a state-of-the-art machine shop, AS9100 certification. What we do here is different than what you'll see in other places. A lot of people ask us for factory tours. This is the closest thing I can get to you to allow us to see what's in here. So this is going to be a couple of our Mazak vertical centers. This makes our small parts, hammers, sears, starting out a billet, bringing it all the way to where we have to take it to the other side of our building for processing. So some of our small parts gets done here. These are great machines. We've had them for years. We're looking to even switch these out at this point too to upgrade. So we're always looking to reinvest into our company. We want to be state of the art. We want to be top of the line on everything that we do here at Jacob Gray. And we want to knock it out of the park so you guys get the best product that you possibly can. And we all want to stand behind that product as well. Customer service, you guys, if you've seen anything with our customer service in our company, we are top notch. Our customer service team is just knocking out of the park. If you get on Reddit, anything like that, you're going to see that we want to take care of you. We want you to have the best experience, and it all starts right here. So follow me over here real quick. So this is a really, really big machine. So this CNC machine is almost 30 feet long. And it's about $1 million. And we have two of these, they call them the sisters. So we have two of these huge machines. They're pallet changers, which means we bring a pallet of product in to where we can run this thing 24/7 and have product coming out the door every single day. So basically we don't have to have one thing running on this at one time. We can put multiple different parts and pieces on this machine, and then because we have this tool cabinet here that holds 260 tools, we're able to run parts at all times of the day. And it can be anything. One day we might run slides, one day we might run frames, it just depends. But these tool holders are about $300 to $700. So if you start looking, there's 260 holders here. That's a lot of money we've had to put into these products to be able to get you the best product on the market. The guys have been working round the clock doing engineering, and right now it looks empty, but we actually are changing some stuff up. We actually make our own work holding and fixtures here in-house called Falcon Work Holdings, and we do that so our product that gets built is consistent, and then if we have to switch machines, all of our work holding talks to each other and it's consistent from one machine to the other. So that allows us to get to that same zero every single time. So it's an absolute zero, not an almost zero. Moving around the shop, this is going to be a pallet changer. So basically that pallet, there's always something moving in there on that spindle. And then when it's done, the pallet lifts it up, brings it out here, and then my guys can actually get to the product, pull it off, change it, move it around, and then the spindle never stops moving. So it's a really cool product that we have invested in here. And then all while that's going on, we have a guy here, an engineer running the actual machine, and this is where all the products are being made. And you'll be able to see that on some of our clips. This is another Mazak over here. So the Mazaks are the ones that are doing those small parts that are really hard to do. Our hammer, our sear, in billet, and it comes off the machine with no touching, no deburr, no processing, no DLC. It's pulling at 2.5 pounds. Can you believe that? 2.5 pounds off a machine? Nobody's doing that. And guys have actually asked us, how the heck are you doing that without a wire EDM? We don't have a wire EDM. We do everything out of billet. We do it on machines, and our guys are the best of the best. This is our baby. So this was our baby from the beginning. This is the aerospace side of things talking. This is where the grips get done. The grips are awesome. We are probably one of only 2 or 3 guys in the country doing actual grips in-house. This is another pallet changer, $200,000 sitting right here. I got a Lamborghini laying in my front yard right here. You can see in here, you got grips half made. They're already through op 1. So what we want to do here is our parts throughout the process of our building are always checked. So after a tool pass goes, we actually will bring a probe in, and these probes are Renishaw probes. They are super expensive, $15,000 a piece. And that probe comes in and we'll measure the part as we go. So if something happened in that tool pass, or the camera took a picture of a tool during a tool change, we actually will know that. It'll text us and notify us that we have an issue, and our guys can come to the machine and fix it. It's one of the cool technologies of these machines. We've been able to hold half a thou over 16 inches on some parts and pieces that we've done for our aerospace partners. Nobody's doing that in this industry, I promise you. We're gonna walk through here. This is one of our old ones, man. We got a new machine coming in for him, probably August 15th, I think we're getting a new machine. So out with the old, in with the new. It's gonna be another big Makino. We're putting that on the floor in mid-August, and that's gonna be another one that's gonna catch us those 2.5 pound triggers and sears. We're knocking it out of the park with that machine. We're super, super excited. So now that we've went over some of our machines that we have, I want to get in a little bit deeper of the guns that are out there in the marketplace. Everybody's kind of showing up in this $6,000 range, and I don't know if that's a marketing thing that we're chasing or if there's real value. And what my goal on this video is to show you the real value and the investment that we have to make to be able to make a gun that comes out and kicks some butt in the marketplace and also hits tolerances that you've never seen before in the industry. So we're going to show you why Jacob Grade is different. So all these machines that you have here in the shop, we have to keep hundreds of thousands of dollars on hand at all time of cutters. So we have cutters for titanium, we've got cutters for aluminum, and these are very, very expensive parts. So us to have this much inventory, it's the reason I have to have all these tools being in the back here to be able to come and do a job. And if something happens and one of these tools breaks and we're not here and it's overnight, I gotta have 2 or 3 more tools waiting for these things to be able to be done, because I don't want my production to slow down. I need to make sure that I have extra tools lined up right behind it so that our products can still be delivered on time and to processing on time, because in production, you have to stay on time. So this is the second baby. So you've seen, I already showed you on the other side, this is a DA300 from Makino, one of the best machines in the market. And what we've done is we've got 2 of them, and they're sisters, but they actually, you saw on the other side, this is our pallet changers. So basically we can load up the middle, and then each of the machines feed off that inventory. So all night long when we're not here, things are running, process is happening. We come in the next morning, all of our grips are made, and we can make these at a pace that not many can do in this industry, and we're excited about that. Our guys, behind you there is where everything gets started. Jesse, our programmer, sits with Jake for hours at a time, and they come up with these awesome ideas, grip textures, new ideas, innovative things. We got a patent on an ejector that you guys are about to see in our new launch of the Knox, and when you see it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, why didn't we do this? And that's what we're here to do, is to set the tone of the industry and stay outpacing everybody else so that Jacob Grade's here for the long haul. All right, so now what I wanna do is take you into the other side of our building. But first I want to show you, we got more tooling here. Check out how many tools there are, and these are $700 a piece plus the cutter cost. That's a lot of money we've invested in this place. Here's some frames. Frames are done here on our Okuma #2, and from start to finish. We do a lot of in-process checking, so when the machine is actually on and we're running our part. So this is op 1. This is the first operation that it took to do this product. So during this product being made, there was a probe coming in here checking holes, making sure everything's lined up, making sure that all of our tolerances are great, so that when we flip it over, everything's locked into our work holding and it can be made properly to our specs. Okay, so this is another thing I've spent a lot of money on, is our ERP system. We just implemented it. This ERP is so in-depth that it does our raw materials, it knows when we need to reorder, it knows how long it is to go to processing, how long it is to come back, we can run min-maxes, so our product is always in the move, and it's really hard to keep up with everything, but this is a traveler. So our computer starts it in the front offices, they order all the product, it comes in, it becomes a traveler, and then all the way through, because these are serialized parts, this thing has to stay with it so that our people in the building always know what's being made and where it's at in the process. This is a piece of billet. This is how all of our product starts. So in a small business like us, we have to stay lean. We want to stay lean so that we can keep good employees. We want to stay lean so that we can maximize our bottom line. But this product starts like this. This is a grip module. So the same gun that you have in your hand, it started just like this. As we go through Operation 1 comes off the machine just like this. So in order for us to make this, you have one operation and the cutters come in and they do all their work. Well, then when our guys are done, they come and they release it. Well, what we do, instead of throwing the rest of this piece away, why would we do that? This can actually become a trigger, a mainspring housing, or a beaver tail, depending on how my guys cut it in-house. So we want to stay lean, we don't just throw it away. Okay guys, so earlier I showed you our other machine down the way, and that's the Okuma, the big pallet changer. And I told you we had a tool cabinet. The tool cabinet is awesome because we can keep multiple tools for a job ready to go. So if we have a problem or an issue during in-process checking, we can go right to the next tool. Our tools change so fast. It is one of the coolest things to see if you've never seen it. The tool cabinet is like a closet at your house. You just open it up. My guys can go in there, check out the tools. They can move things around, make sure that their programs are matched up with the product that needs to be ran, and then our tool changer will manipulate the tools and bring them to where they need to be so that we can keep you in the field. The last thing I want to show you on this side of the building is we use top of the line coolant, and you have to have the best coolant in the industry to make sure your parts are perfect. If a cutter gets hot, that's a lot of money we're going to waste. It's an opportunity for us to break a tool or something to get hot, and our goal is to run our tools so efficient that we use the best coolant in the industry. These coolant tanks right here, 55 gallons of Swiss coolant, $2,500. So when you ask, why is your gun $6,000? You've seen millions of dollars of investment, $2,500 in coolant to make sure that your slide works and your frame is cut perfect. So let's go over and next we're going to show you how our product comes into processing and what we do on the other side of our building. And that's kind of the final end that eventually gets to a box to where you get to receive your gun. So guys, I've walked you through our machine shop side of the business, and that is one of the most coolest, innovative machine shops you're going to see in this space. But the last thing is, we're not done. I need to show you one more thing, because all the in-process stuff that we do over there to check products, make sure it's right, we use our $150,000 Zeiss machine to make sure every product that goes out of this building is perfect and to spec. And you'll notice behind me, there's freezer curtains. This room is so important that we have to keep it between 68 and 70 degrees at all times, because if the metal gets warm or gets cold, it'll actually change the variation, and we need to make sure our parts are perfect because we want you to have the best. So inside here might be a little echoey because we keep it really tight in here. One of the things we talked about earlier is vertical integration. So we've actually picked up one of the new Bamboo machines, 3D printers. So all of our prototypes are done on a 3D printer. So we can actually utilize some of those during our prototyping to make sure that parts and pieces are fitting right, and our machinists and our engineers can see what that looks like before we go and spend a bunch of money on the actual metal and the cutters. So the Bamboo stuff here is actually making some stands for our stores, which is a really cool thing that we do. If you're in a store and you see one of these, we make them here. So when I say we're trying to vertically integrate, we are literally trying to make sure that most everything that comes out of our doors that has a Jacob Gray logo on it or a name is something that we had our hands in. So the one thing I do want to show you is this is the baby right here. This is the science behind it all. It's the CMM machine. This thing holds tolerances like no other. I mean, you start getting into the science side of it, it's 0.00000. I think they say pi sometimes. I don't know. These guys are too smart for me anyways. But you can see this is a frame that we have on here. Our frames get checked in so many different dimensions so that we can make sure our products are perfect for you, and when you feel our gun, you know it was $6,000. So after they go through our CMM, parts get boxed up, they get taken out, and they get sent out to our processors, our anodizers, our DLC, our PVD partners. And one of the things that we do to make sure that our guns that go out the door come in at that high quality look and finish is we've professionally had these laser cut foam trays made. And what we do is this is a way for us to keep your product pristine throughout the whole process. So AS9100, we learned this in that space to keep everything perfect as we went through it. And then we brought that to the gun space so that when parts come in or when parts are moving around, nothing's getting bumped into each other. You're not gonna have nicks, dings, or anything like that. So this is a whole kit for our armors. So they'll come over, we have our team where they'll come over here and they'll pick up the parts that they need to build a gun. And we'll make these kits a couple times a week, and then our armors can just come over and grab hold of the kit, no problem. This is really cool. So this is the way that your really expensive grip modules get sent out to anodizing and then get returned from anodizing. Super cool. This is the hex grip, so you can see at no point during the process, and the other thing that we did is when we designed this, we actually can stack these on top of each other, so we can send 50 grips out at a time and have no problem with them going out and coming back. And then our anodizers have been awesome. They've been able to get those guns here and back, no problems. Very little ever do we have an issue with that. So these blue bins here, that's our kitting process. So this is one of my armors. He's working through one of our FDE hexes right now. You can see some of the parts that I was showing you on the other side, but you can see how the parts are always being protected. So after the gun's being built, we bring it over here to this cart, and the top shelf, that's guns that are built and not test fired. And what we do is we build all these guns, my guys will build them. When we get about 20, we'll take them outside, we'll do our test fire. If for some reason it didn't work or function properly, they come back in and they go on our second shelf. The second shelf is the shelf that we will then the next day take it apart, analyze it, make sure we do our corrective actions and hit everything on that to make sure that everything in the gun is perfect, and then we retest it again. It'll actually go from that shelf back up here, and then we'll do the test, and then it goes to quality control. So these guns here are ready for test fire, guys are ready to go on it, and then once they pass that and they go out and they hit their 5 shots, we do 5 shots of 115 FMJ generally in our testing, just to make sure that the gun runs properly in cycles, and then we bring it over here to quality. So you keep seeing these orange things that fly with it. We have to keep a very good system in place for the guns so that we know where the gun is and how the gun is actually in the process and where it's at. So the serial number that's on the frame matches our orange Traveler. But if you look close, and I'm not gonna get too close because there's some secret sauce on here, but there's just different things that we check for. You can see one of the sides of this is for my armors. My armors got to go through and they got to check off things to make sure that they did everything in process just how Jacob Gray wants it done. And then the second part of it is we come over here and then we make sure that the quality of that gun is perfect. We check for finishing, we check that the slide locks back, we make sure the trigger pulls 3.5 pounds. So there's a lot of things that we do in the quality, even clear to the end. We start with quality clear up front. 4, 5, 6 minutes ago I was talking about quality, and it's still being talked about clear back here in the back end of our buildings. So after all that happens, then we push it over to our shipping girls. Our shipping girls will then take it, it slides down here, they'll box it up, they'll put the hat, the t-shirt, whatever else is on the order that you guys have or the dealer needs for stands, and we'll get that put over to here. They get it boxed, weighed, put on the shelf, UPS picks up daily, so then the gun can get to you in a proper time. So you hear me talk about quality a lot. One of the things with our AS9100 certification is that we have a closed loop system. And what I mean by that is if we ever have a problem, we actually get the problem, we find the root cause, we put a corrective action to that cause, and then we make a plan of action so that that problem never happens again. Now, are we perfect? No, man, come on. And no business is perfect. Some of the biggest businesses in our business right now are not perfect and they're having issues. So what we want to do, and you've seen me do it, we had an issue with our optic screws a couple months ago. I'm coming clean, man. I want you guys to have trust in us. I want to be transparent. I want you guys to say, man, Jacob Gray gives me a great experience, the guns perform well, and I made a good choice with my hard-earned money. So I want you guys to feel that confident that if we have an issue, we're going to address it. I have no problem getting on the phone and working with people to make sure that you guys are happy and you get what you need. So that's Jacob Gray. You see in the background here, another one of our tray foams. Gosh, I see these things everywhere. I think we have them in our bathroom too. Jacob Gray has OCD through the roof. So whenever he gets something in his mind, he's always trying to figure out how to make it perfect and almost impossible for it to be messed up. So it's fun to be around that sometimes, but to be honest with you, it's sometimes kind of annoying, but we'll let him have his OCD. It's no big deal. So thanks for joining me, man. Hope it helps you understand what we are, who we are, are, what we do. We've got 17 employees here that have great families, and we've just been knocking it out of the park. We're on a growth trajectory that's like no other, and we're in a down market. So all of that is because of you guys out there that have been on Reddit, been following us on social, Instagram, Facebook. You guys have been the ones to help us grow in a down market, and we're so excited about what's to come. And by the way, we do have a new gun launching, and it's coming soon. So keep your ears peeled, follow us on social, and we will see you soon. Thanks for following Jacob Gray.